Hello. So USA World 3 launched just about a day ago now. It's day 2, and I figured I would do this sort of a build log for players who are interested in playing the game, free to play, no cards really, no premium tokens. The premium token I have in play right now is the one you get from completing the tutorial. So I will not be buying any premium tokens for this playthrough, but I will be using a second one to rearrange my village after I get some more food production buildings, because right now, let's take a look at my village setup. Right now I only have apples. Now, since I'm going for a free-to-play build strategy, I will not be focusing on any military until later. This is because you have 5 days of protection time, which means nobody can attack you within those 5 days, and the early AI attacks do not hit you for very much honor. So the strategy I went for here is focusing solely on economy. Now, I will not be doing banqueting because it's a great amount you have to invest in the research to access or to gain access to the buildings, and then you have to have gold to build them. You got to maintain the banquets every day, and it just gets harder as you progress. In other words, you have to have more banquet goods every time. So what I did here, I'm going to go to the research tree. I went for the farming synergy. Basically, just max out apples. Now, you might be wondering, why do just apples? Why not do a combined approach? Do some meat, some bread, 5 food types? Well, the answer is simple. Even at 5 food types times 4 production, times 4 ration rate, you're only going to be making 70 honor. In other words, instead of 40 times 4 and 1, you're going to be making 70. That's 30 honor more. And a better synergy is to go for ale, because ale at times 4 is 24. It's just 6 away from that 30 honor and that 30 popularity you're going to be getting if you invest in 4 more food types. And believe me, the research you're going to need to do to get those 4 more food types is going to cost you a lot more than it would be just to research what I'm doing here. In addition to apples, now I'm going after ale. So I'm going to be researching ale all the way up to 400%, and then I'm going to feed my peasants ale, and they'll only be 6 popularity away from what I would be hitting with 5 food types, because this is a lowland village, and lowland villages can contain 5 food types. So I also have bribes to max. Why? Well, because it's really worth it. I mean, look, I'm only losing 840 gold a day. Now, this is going to go up as I build more buildings that require peasants, but I can easily make 840 gold a day trading. Now, I'm going to get over to the education tree and show you what I did there. I invested enough to get 3 merchants that will require 5 research points total, and you have to build a market. Now, the market is expensive, and I'm going to jump over to the industry tree and explain how I made it cheaper. Tools. Tools is often one of the most overlooked, just basic necessity researches of a free-to-play player, and this is because it reduces the cost of buildings by 40% when it's fully researched out. But rather than increasing your wood production and your stone production to 200%, go after tools, because it reduces the cost of all resources, gold, stone, and wood, when it comes to building buildings. So that's what I did. I completely maxed out tools. You can see I didn't research anything else in this tree. I did 8 points on tools, 3 points on forestry, and 3 points on stone quarrying. For military, I left this alone entirely. I will be focusing on military maybe on day 4, I think. Then for farming, I explained before, I went full apple orchard, and now starting on day 2, I'm going for hops, and I hope to max that out by the end of today. Education, I explained the merchant guilds. You're going to need merchants to do some trading to get gold. It is a necessity, so when you have access, when you first reach that rank that you're allowed to unlock it, go for it. Arts, definitely. I've had some people argue against arts, but look, from the first point of honor you put in is plus 10. The max, right now, I'm at plus 30. Let's take a look at what the effect that has on my village. Arts research, 30. I mean, this is just a base. Without the plus 30, I didn't. I increased it by 66% by researching that. Normally it'd be at 10 with just 1 point. It is worth it. I mean, look, decorative is only giving me 14 right now, and that's with one dovecot built in all the flower beds. This is definitely worth it. And I've heard some pro players suggest that arts isn't worth it. I strongly disagree. If you're going for, especially the playstyle I'm going for here, free to play, you should go for arts whenever it's available. Because I'm doing a pass. Maybe if you're doing some kind of banquet strategy, that would make sense. I also have researched literature, and which gave me access to the theater, which I built, and of course decoration. Build those flower beds. Now, one important thing to note that this premium token is going to run out in about a day from now, and I will rearrange what I have here to better, well, prepare myself for later buildings I plan to build, because I won't be able to move them since I'm not going to be buying any premium tokens. I'm going to blame this on Venomous Fate, but I hit randomly place yourself in the world, and I ended up in this parish. Now, this parish is just the wackiest thing ever, but fortunately, I hate it when that happens. This parish is just the wackiest thing ever, but fortunately, merchant times are not impacted by the distance to your village for your local parish. It's always 15 minutes, so I'm not at a disadvantage there for having my village so far away from my parish. And there's also the problem that I can't trade with any nearby parishes. Want to trade with this one? Nope. I'm going to have to hit rank what? Rank 19 before I can trade with that parish, which is laughable. And the same goes for these parishes right here. I'm going to have to reach rank 11, I think. It's just one of those things that happens. The good side to this is that they can't trade with my parish, which basically means this stock market's not going to crash nearly as quickly as if all these other people could access it. So, you know, there's some trade-offs, there's some benefits to it. I didn't do any... Okay, that is one thing I forgot. In military, I did put 1 point into scouting. This is because of quests. Now, there is a quest that requires you to scout some resources, and it unlocks more quests. So I put a point into it for that. I'll show you which quests I've completed. Making contact, spread the word 1, expanding knowledge, healthy rations, chainmail, construction crazy 1, gold hoard 1, master forester, cultured peasant, scouts 1, scouts 2, master mason, spread the word 2, construction crazy 2, and gold hoard 2. It's important to complete these quests because some of them give you a lot of resources, and I wouldn't be where I am now if I hadn't gotten the extra stone and the extra wood from a couple of those really high paying quests. So I feel it is worth investing in one scout, even though I don't plan on doing any scouting, because in a new world the scouting scene is highly competitive. You can tell there are no resource stashes left in this parish. So now moving on to which buildings I have built. I have how many stone quarries here? Damn it, I thought. Okay, moving on to how many buildings I have placed. I have a total of 9 stone quarries built right now, 8 woodcutters huts, 10 apple orchards, 1 cheese dairy farm. That was simply for the quest, and I figured just leave it. And then of course the flower gardens, I placed all 5 of them. I placed the theater, 2 hovels, and a market. Now there's something I wanted to mention. Oh yes, you'll notice my apple production. I am making a total of 53,000 apples a day, which more than covers what I need to feed these peasants. Right now I only need 33,000 of those 55,000 apples I'm making. For defense, I basically just have the little castle the tutorial has you build and put some peasants in there. I've lost my first attack, so I'm not really going to try to restock it with peasants or anything, but you need the castle around it to maintain positive popularity. And I mentioned I wasn't going to really focus on defense until at least day 4. One major difference that comes with a new world over or versus a more established world is that you won't have to deal with any AIs causing negative popularity in your parish. That is because all the AIs are basically scaled to the parish, the level of the players in the parish. You won't see wolf castles popping up. and hitting you for like minus 32. Honestly, I forget the numbers, but another positive side to having an active world like this is that all the AIs will be promptly removed from your castle. Downside, of course, is the parish is not nearly as developed. Now, I have another person voted themselves in as steward, but nothing's been built so far, probably because there isn't enough gold. I have made contact with the steward. They have not messaged me back yet. I have also been in contact with a player I met in chat, and I hope to be invited to a rather small faction pretty soon. Hopefully this is not because of any ties I have. I mean, they know me, but I think anybody who shows that they're willing to build, like you can see my icon on the map, this village, it shows that I'm active in the game. That is really all that matters, because you could be the most popular player in the game. I'm not, please do not mistake that. But you could be the most popular player in the game, and if you're not going to play, good factions are not going to want you. But that is the idea behind this build, is to get up in free-to-play, to build up so that you can support your faction with resources, with food. If they need to pillage you for weapons, if you need to give away your village to them, these are all things you can do, and especially tools research that'll help you build new villages in case you have to move around. So yeah, maybe I didn't really quite explain the role of this build that I'm going for here. I'm looking for a contributing member to the faction, not a member who's going to be attacking. You may be sending some support tax later on, but early in the game you're going to be helping them with their economies, because a lot of players who are focused on military do not build their big economy. So you can be sending them resources, you can be letting them pillage you for weapons and stuff. So this build is going to focus entirely on being a production house, and I am going to get to additional food types later on. It's just this early in the game, it is not worth the investment that it requires to get all 5 food types, as opposed to focusing very strongly on just one and then going for ale. I apologize for the rambling nature of this guide, but I really didn't think out any order of how I was going to do this. I'm going to show you what I'm currently Freeman level 8, and this isn't quite a day yet. As you'll see on my village, there's still 5 hours of peacetime within the 5th day part of it. So yeah, I didn't get started right away. So I think that covers it for day 1. Thank you very much for watching. If you found this video helpful, or if you have questions or comments, leave them in the comment section below. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, farewell.
Stronghold Kingdoms. The battle has just begun.